Hello, my lovely ladies and gents. Little bit of Laura here, and I have my wonderful friend Elizabeth Billingsley.
Hey guys.
She is one of my bestest friends. She's one of the ladies that I mentioned in my other video. She has encouraged me to get to where I am now. She has helped me push through all the trials I have faced, bring me closer to Christ, and she has been a wonderful, dear sister of mine.
Thank you. Thank you. Her other video made me cry. She was like, well, I'm not crying. I'm like, but I am. So I was really appreciative of that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you want to talk about, we talked about this prior to coming on. So she has a really good idea. So
the angle of the short clip video that we did, that gave me an idea, and it was more of a push to say, let's discuss flipping over, turning over, starting from where we came from to where we are now, which is a huge journey in itself, both for me and for Elizabeth. Now, what I have told you guys previously in my other video is I have gone through so much in my childhood, growing up, being a teenager, being in my 20s to where I am now. And all that has pushed me up to where I am now, and that's to be a vlogger, a narrator, a voice actor, whatever it is that the Lord wants me to do, I'm jumping in that, just jumping in it and trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. So this is not only one of my first things to do, but this is going to be a step forward into what I believe that I'm supposed to be doing. It's going to be video vlogs or YouTubing or narrating or even voice acting,
which by the way, she is very good at for someone who has just stepped into this. So go back and listen to her other videos where she's done some of that. She reads with a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling and power, I think. So yeah, you're beaming, and I mean that. I'm not just, blowing smoke. So yeah, check those out, please.
I have already uploaded 2 chapters of a book that I've been reading. I had to redo another chapter because it just didn't sound right. But I have those 2 videos, and I also have another one that's a children's book. So that gives you an idea of the kind of stories that I would like to read and that I can read, either scary psycho stories that are horror stories and or children's stories that, rhyme and that kind of thing. So,
and she's very good at both. So the horror kind of story she's been reading freaked me out. So it's quite the story. So anywho, but so how do you want to start this discussion?
Go from the
you want me to start, or you want you to start?
You start.
Okay.
Because I'm new to this.
Okay. Well, as you can tell, I have no problem talking. So my name is Elizabeth Billingsley. I'm an author and a writer. And I'll go over where you can find my stuff here later. And I've written 2 independently published books, and I'm working on a 3rd. And I also blog. Again, I'll tell you about all that later. And thank you, Laura, for the opportunity to do this today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So I grew up in church, Protestant, non-denominational church. Was taught the truth, knew the truth. And somewhere between 21 and 25, I decided to go my own way. So, and I attribute that to trying to put I allowed culture to shape my Christianity instead of my Christianity shaping culture. So, I've done some things I'm not proud of. I have hurt myself. I've hurt other people. I have gone my own way. I've gone my own way I probably went my own way for 20 plus years, and married a guy that had his own problems, and, that marriage failed. And just, man after man after man, just hurt men. I was hurt, so I was looking for hurt people, and reaping the problems that come along with that. So, and this girl right here, I remember 2017 was a really rough year for me. And that's when I was kind of going from man to man. And I remember she walked up to me and she looked at me and she said, "You have to stop this. It's going to kill you. You can't go. You have to." She says, "What are you doing?" And I want to tell you, when you spoke that truth to me, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I cried on the way home, just like you're getting ready to do, because I knew something was wrong with me. And so fast forward, I actually, stopped seeing men, and I quit dating because I knew something was up. And so I just kind of sat with the Lord and spent time with the Lord. And from probably late 2017 on to even now. And so he's been able just to heal me, show me where roots are of things I believed. One of my biggest issues was I wasn't really accepted really well from my male peers growing up. So I internalized that to be, okay, they don't want you, so you have to make them want you, or you have to pursue them in such a way that they will want you. And so that is a dangerous road to go down. And Laura's over here shaking her head. And that's a dangerous road to go down, and it causes all kinds of problems. So that's one of the things the Lord has shown me recently. And that I didn't realize how much he wanted me. He accepted me. He loved me. And that was all that mattered. And that I can't get my sense of who I am from another person. So, over time, I was actually splintering myself, doing, all these things, trying to be all these things to all these men, trying to perform for all these men. And ladies, it'll never be enough. It will never be enough. And your sense of identity has to come from Jesus Christ. He's the one that made us. Our image, we are made in the image of God. That's who our identity comes from. And if we're searching for it in men, drugs, affairs, eating, exercise, you name it, if that's what we're searching for it in, it'll never work. So I've come on an 8-year journey, probably, wouldn't you say, 8 years? I was married to a man who did his best to love me. She knew him. Her husband knew him. He actually took his life, and it was at that point that the Lord started me on a catalyst to healing. And it's been a journey, and it's literally taken 8 years and a lot of time, and a lot of just having to go through some things and having to stop mindsets that were killing me, or they were going to kill me. The fact that I actually don't, have something like a disease or something physically really wrong with me is honestly the grace of God. I think she would agree. So, and I'm not bragging on anything I was doing. Please don't misunderstand me. That time in my life was not cool, and it wasn't something to be emulated. So, I'm just thankful for where I am today and the freedom that I have today, and that Jesus has just loved me through it all, and he never stopped loving me, and he never stopped seeing me as righteous. And so that is my story in a nutshell. And I am just so thankful that you've given me an opportunity to kind of talk about that for a few minutes. And I will now pass the baton to you, or you can do questions or whatever you want to do.
It's funny how God works. Like, he makes us go different directions and take different journeys and roads. And you end up running into people that you're meant to be around, that you're supposed to be around them, that you're supposed to run into them. Because, 15 years ago, I would never have thought to do any of this stuff. I never would have thought to have a family, to have kids, to have a job and everything. Because the way I grew up, it wasn't all, sunshines and butterflies and, sunflowers. It wasn't any of that. I mean, we all come from different backgrounds, and I honestly think that where I came from makes me who I am today. Because, I wasn't exactly picked on, but I didn't exactly have a lot of friends either. So it was like I moved everywhere because of my dad's job and because of, whatever reasons I moved. But it was because of me moving constantly. I never had friends. I never kept friends. Because, when you move to different states, you lose touch with everybody. So I really don't have any memory of growing up or having any friends. But for some reason, whenever I was in junior high, I had this one particular friend, and to this day, we are still best friends. And my brother told me that during one of his serious surgeries, because, he has Treacher Collins, which is a facial defect, and he was born with it. The only person in the entire family who has this rare genetic thing, he's the one that grew up with all the surgeries and the pain and the suffering. I suffered too, being the kid on the back burner because he was the main focus to get better, to have surgeries and heal. I was on the back burner. So with that being said, I felt like I wasn't getting attention. I wasn't loved. No one loved me. No one being around me. So I would go stay with a friend, and I'd spend time with her and her family. They took me in as their own. So I grew up technically with two different families. And
that's rough on a kid.
Yes.
That's rough on a kid. That's rough on a teen.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm going to say I was I even 13? I don't even know. That's how far back it is. I don't even remember how old I was when that took place. But the only real memory that I have is whenever I was 16. And that was probably one of the most traumatic things I ever experienced, seeing family members fight constantly and not getting along, and especially when they're siblings, because it was my dad and my uncle. And I'll get into the details of that later. But that was one of the most traumatic things I ever dealt with. And how I was raised is a whole other issue too. So coming from not feeling very special, very loved, to not knowing where life is going, to being lonely and feeling like a child all the time, because let's face it, I look like a kid. I don't look my age. I don't look like I should have a family. I don't look like I should have anything. Honestly. Honestly, no matter what I try, I just don't. I have that tiny little figure and the baby face. I get it. I understand everyone's like, oh, that's a blessing. You're gonna thank it. You're gonna thank your mommy when you get older. I get that. Thank you. But it sucks every time someone guesses, like, oh, you have kids? I didn't think you're old enough to have kids.
I think what somebody tell you, they thought how old you were the other, like one time, like 19, and this girl's like 30 and they think she's 19. I'm like, geez, I wish I had that problem. Of course, now my problem was reversed. When I was 12, they thought I was 21. So, what can I say? It was
one of those conversations where she looks at the picture of me and my family. They're like, oh, are those your nephews? No, they're my kids. Like, oh my God, how old are you? I was like, I'm in my 30s. They're like, man, I wish I could look like you. I'm like, no, you don't.
All kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. I have another friend who had the same problem, and she was 19 driving, and they thought she was 12. Driving a car. She's driving a car. Has a license. They thought she was 12. So, yeah.
That's pretty much me. I remember when I went to get my driver's license, the person back behind the counter just stares at me. They're like, you're of age? I'm like, yeah, I'm of age. How old are you?
I've never had that problem.
I was 22, I think. Yeah, I was 22 when I got my driver's license. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, you want my birth certificate? Here you go. And they look at my birth certificate. They're like, oh, you are of age. Yes, I'm of age.
See, I've never had that problem. People have always thought I was older till I got maybe in my 30s, and then they quit thinking I was older. But I've never had that problem. So, in fact, people have tried to give me things thinking when I was younger that I was actually older. Because when I was 16, people thought I was like 25. So, that comes with its own set of issues.
Yeah, it's funny how it works out that way, because I actually, no matter what the age difference is, I get along with everybody. I doesn't matter how old you are. You can be in your 60s and your 70s. I'll find something to discuss with you.
She does. She's good at this. She likes people.
I'm a people person.
She likes people.
I'm
And
a
so
people person.
we both are. So it works, it works. Our friendship works
Right.
that way.
And granted, this is something I would never have thought to do, have a YouTube channel, but this is something that I'm being led to do, something pushed to do, because I'm not usually a camera kind of girl. Now, taking pictures is a totally different thing.
Yes.
I can do that, not a problem. Pose and everything, I've got that down. But talking on camera to viewers who I can't even see, that's a different story.
See, and I'm just okay. I'm just whatever. So she does more of the photos and I can do photos, but I would almost rather do this because it's relational between friends. And then it can somewhat be relational with you guys because you can type questions or what have you, make comments and we can respond. And so I really like this format. So we'll have to do this. We'll have to do this again. I mean, in time and when we have time. But okay, anyway, you were saying about your life. I love our little sidetracks too.
It's just, I never thought I'd have the stuff that I have now. I never thought I would find love of my life, have kids, have my house, have my life built, have a job, no less. And it took having to get out of my comfort zone of being shown how to live life, just coasting by and leaning on someone else and living on their couch or eating their food or whatever. That's what I grew up learning. So this is a totally different thing. So I'm independent. I'm on my own. I know what I'm after. I know what I want. And, YouTube is something I never thought I would do. But like I said, this is what I'm led to do. So if you want to do just leave comments, questions, whatever. I will do whatever you want. I'm open to anything. And so, yeah. I can't believe I'm doing this.
You are, and she's doing a phenomenal job. I guess tell them a little bit about how we met. It's your show. You tell them how we met.
Church.
Yeah.
It used to be East Point, and I think you were singing.
I was.
You were singing, and my husband was my boyfriend at the time, and he was on the worship team, I think. I don't know the day we met.
No, I don't.
I just remember that we met at church.
Yeah.
We went to functions together. We hung out together, and it's just. It was one of those relationships where it's like you just click.
You click, yes.
You just click.
And those of you that have those, you know what that is, where you come together and you kind of see this thing. You kind of see life the same way. You may have had some things go on in your life that you talk about and kind of help each other with. So that was just kind of how we became friends. So, and then of course I'm friends with her husband and her brother, and so it's kind of this little family thing. and they're great. They're my family. They're part of my family, and we have other great friends, and so I'm just ecstatic to know you and have known you for 15 years,
something like that.
It's at least been 15 years, and just to be connected with her and be connected with this and all that stuff. So
yeah, we friends. They come and go, but when you find someone that you click with, you're gonna have seasons. And we've had plenty of seasons where we just don't talk very much, and then we get to where we talk all the time, we hang out all the time, and you go back to I'm busy doing this and I'm busy doing that. So during the whole COVID thing, we both had our things that we were doing. I was focusing on getting better because I just had my 2-year-old. Yes. I just had my baby. When
he came because I got to see him and I got to hold him. And he was so precious. They were both her kids are precious. He came like March 4th. I got to hold him 2 days later. 2 weeks later, they shut everything down. And it's just like life stopped.
Completely.
It's like life stopped. I have never seen anything like that in my life. So,
and it's sad when you have people coming over to bring you meals and everything. So that's like they have to wear a mask and they're walking in your house with gloves and they got the food and they set it down on your table and they speak through the mask. Bye, have a good day. And they walk out. It's like you have to wipe it down, clean everything before you can open it because that's how bad it was at the time.
And then me being a public health nurse, I was kind of sucked into all of that. Some of it, I'm going to be honest, I agreed with. Some of it I didn't. And that's not what we're going to talk about right now. But I'm just glad it's over.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. I wish.
At least I hope it's over. I don't know. Sometimes when you look at the news, you wonder, but I don't. The news is not my source of truth or my source of happiness. So,
No, there are certain places that you can go, like the clinical places that some of them you don't have to wear a mask, and some places you do. Unfortunately, my job is one of those where you have to wear a mask. Whether you work there or you're a patient, you have to wear a mask. And we have this big old plexiglass in front of us, which is extremely difficult to hear patients through. It is so hard. So I had to literally stand over the counter and be like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Can you say that again?" And I shouldn't have to I can't hear you. It should be more like, conversational, like give me your name, your information, and I look them up, they check in, whatever. So it's really difficult, and I cannot wait until this whole thing, COVID, is over. That way we can move on with our lives.
Well, I will say the talk now is, endemic. Not gonna be something we're gonna wear masks about or any of that. So we'll see. I hope so, because we can't stay in this. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for people to stay in this thing called COVID. So anyway, our take on COVID, I'm sure you have your own take, but our take on COVID. So.
I've had it.
Me too.
It was not fun.
Wasn't fun.
And husband had it. And that's about it. So my kids got lucky. My in-laws got lucky. Pretty sure my mom got lucky. My brother got lucky. I, however, did not. But whenever I went to go get tested and everything, they're like, "Which one did you get?" I'm like, "I got the Pfizer." "Well, you're the one of the unlucky ones that had the breakthrough." "What?"
Yeah.
"I got the breakthrough one." Like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. There's some people that had the Pfizer had the breakthrough one." So I was like,
but I had Moderna and I still caught it. So guys, vaccines are great, but they're not the end all be all.
Even the booster.
They're just not. So didn't help me, so and I'm not going to get into, any of that stuff, but because that gets very political and very sensationalized, but it's just kind of funny that, you can't put your faith in something that is really man-made. You can't put all your faith in something that's man-made. So, my faith was, in the Lord the whole time, and I knew He would get me through it. And I know that you felt the same way. So, and hopefully we're through it and we can move on with our life and things can settle a little bit in this country. They need to. They need to badly. Because not only did we have the COVID, but we had all the civil stuff over the last 2 years, which has really been somewhat disheartening to me. No, more than a little bit. It's been really disheartening to me. And I don't know, the last 2 4th of Julys haven't felt the same.
No.
And those were really important holidays for me, but they haven't felt the same. So I am hoping that can change.
And by golly, I'm bringing my birthday with fun. By golly, it's happening. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to have fun. We're going to be outside. We're going to enjoy the weather. It's going to be amazing. By the way, my birthday is close to July 4th. Yes. And it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be, we're going to race the roof. No, not really. We're just going to be outside and enjoy the wind and enjoy the sun because it's in the summer and I'm a summer baby and it's going to be awesome.
And I'm a fall baby. So I want to do something. I got to do something outside in 2020.
I don't know.
I don't even remember now. Okay. I don't remember. But I want to say it was 2020 or 2021. So I want to do something. I want to go and sit down and talk to people. That's what I have missed.
Yes.
That is what I have missed. So.
Not just at church.
Yes. Not just at church. Now church is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying not seeing people at church isn't good, but you all know what I mean. You've lived it. So there you go.
It sucks. It still sucks. It still sucks. This is not quite over yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We got the email from our head CEO at work, and supposedly clinics are getting ready to get rid of their plexiglass.
Oh,
which
nice.
is great, but they want us to keep our mask.
See, and where I work, I don't have to have a mask anymore, which kind of surprises me. But
whatever.
I'm just kind of over it. I want to see people's faces. I want to
See smiling faces.
I want to see their faces. I want to see their expressions. I want to see people again. So.
Oh, are you seeing someone? You want to
No.
see people? See what I did there?
Thanks a lot. Okay. No, I'm actually not seeing anybody at this moment. Although I am open to that. I'm actually finally, I think, free enough and healed enough. I wrote a recent blog about this, and I was going in a really bad direction, guys, as far as trusting men and wanting to be around them, and it was getting really, I was just going in a bad direction. And I didn't even know, it was kind of more subconscious, I think, than anything else, which I think a lot of pain is subconscious. And so I'm just thankful that the Lord has brought me through that, and that I feel like I can learn to trust men again and actually have a whole healthy relationship with a man that's not controlled by some kind of performance or some kind of, some kind of whatever is expected of me, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about that. So I'll just see what happens. I'm happy. So, and she will probably be one of the first people to know. And then she'll probably have me back on and be like, so tell us about this, which will be, fine, as long as it's, he is okay with me at that point telling a little bit about us. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. So.
I wanted to say something, but it's just really off topic.
Go ahead.
The YouTube thing. So the YouTube gamers that I watch are also what helped influence me to do this. Not just people that I know, but people that I watch. And their content is so hilarious. But they do mostly gaming stuff. Like they actually play the game. You watch them play it live, or they record it, and they just talk to themselves like I do usually. I usually talk to myself whenever I'm doing my YouTube shorts. And they sometimes actually have conversations with other people, and they go through funny memes, funny pictures online. So it's like you're actually engaged with them. You feel like you're in the room with them. So I have them to thank, even though they get a million thank yous and you're wonderfuls and all that stuff. Because, they're YouTubers. They have a gazillion subscribers. I'm including one of them. So I'm 5 YouTube followers. I'm just I'm glued onto what they do. Even though they're on Twitch, which I don't care for Twitch. Nothing wrong with Twitch. I'm not saying anything bad about them. Just I personally do not care for Twitch anymore. But I'm mostly...
Elizabeth doesn't do Twitch. Not interested.
It's a gamer stream.
Oh,
so it's mostly...
That's what I thought that, and I'm not a gamer.
It's mostly for full-time gamers that make money by playing games, and people subscribe to them.
Which kills me.
Right?
I mean, these guys are making thousands upon thousands upon probably millions, some of them, playing video games.
But they're so funny, and
they're grown men playing video
games. It's just they're hilarious.
I can't.
You're watching them do all this, like, oh my gosh, oh, they freak out, and it's
can't.
I laugh so hard.
I can't. I can't.
I love it.
I can't. No. So anyway, why I'm not on Twitch? I'm not a gamer.
I'm not a gamer either. I mean, I'm not. I just love to watch people play video games, and whenever they get scared, it makes me laugh. When I jump and I get a reaction, it's like, oh my god!
Although your husband and you have showed me some of those clips, and they are kind of funny,
yes.
but it's just not something I could do 100%.
Right. And with that, it's like they react to certain things, and they play games, and they have fun. So I'm like, oh, I want to do something like too. And then I watch movies with the voiceover acting, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. So it's like, how do I get this going? How do I start this? And so what I do at work, I'm a front desk check-in, and then I also do work on the phones. The job I had prior, I was on the phones all the time. So I'd have to answer the phone, talk to patients, do whatever phone note I had to do to send it to the doctor, to the nurse, whatever. So I did that for 2 years. 2 years on the phone all day. That was horrific. But I learned how to talk professionally on the phone and how to talk to patients and how to talk to people the proper way. So I went from there to where I'm at now, which is working on the front desk. Still the same voice, still the same character, still the same, I'm being professional and everything. And they say, well, we want you to work in the phone room and talk to patients. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it all the time. Okay, I can do that. After months of doing that, I had 3 people at work tell me, hey, have you considered voice acting? No. They're like, you should look into it. Okay, then. So I do it over and over and over and over. And then finally someone else says it. I was like, this is actually interesting. So I told my husband, like, I need a microphone. I need a recording stuff. I need to test this out. So Christmas, I got a mic. I got a mic stand. I got the setup. So I was like, I actually want to go further with this. So then he downloaded the program to help me practice recording. And so then I really got to thinking about it. I said, I need to look up how to do this. The websites that can help me, that can push me, that can promote me, and put myself out there so I can do this, whether it be a job, whether it be a part-time job, whether it be a hobby. As of right now, it's just a hobby. I'm just trying to get my feet wet, figure out what it is, if I like this or not.
But it's fun.
It's so much fun. I love it.
This is fun.
This is fun. If this was a job, I would be ecstatic every single day to go to work. This would be like, whoa, I can go to work. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to talk a lot because I'm a talker.
I thought I was bad. I thought I was bad. Okay. No, and I love her, and I wouldn't change her for the world, and I wouldn't change her personality for the world, and I wouldn't change her ability to tell truth.
Aww.
I would not change her ability to tell truth either, because she's told me the truth when I needed to hear it. And it's weird because had it been someone else, I probably wouldn't have accepted it, at least at the time. I know I wouldn't have. So, yay for you. Keep talking, keep being who you are. So that's
I like to talk a lot.
So, but you also listen though.
I do. I'm a good listener.
You have to be able to talk.
I'm a good listener.
Listen.
I'm both. In fact, I remember a phone call that I had one time, and I just sat there listening to the patient, and they just said, "You're a good listener." I was like, "Oh, thanks." Wait, I'm a good listener? I'm confused.
Well, no, because people want to be heard, and when
yeah.
they feel like they're not heard,
right,
that creates a lot of anxiety and emotional yuck. Like, okay, they almost feel like, okay, well, I'm not valuable enough to be heard, which is terrible when you think about it that way.
No matter how hurt they are and how frustrated and angry they are with the staff or the providers, I still show empathy. It's like, okay, I am sorry that this is going on. I can do my best. This is the best I can do. And apparently I have this sweet sounding childlike voice, and that's what's getting everyone's attention, because every time I answer the phone and they're like, oh, there you are. Yeah. It's like, do I know you?
Well, but you're also positive, and you're happy, and you treat people like energetic. Yeah, that definitely. And you treat people like they matter. Like, that's what I said. That's what we've lost in this society.
Yeah.
We've lost the ability to empathize, and we've lost the ability to treat people like they matter. And I think if we don't get that back in this country, we're going to be on a road to really, really bad things.
Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing. Gotta have fun. Because if you're not having fun and you're miserable, you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to be happy.
And people are going to notice that. They're going to notice that you're not happy.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to notice that you don't have any joy. They're going to notice. So,
yeah. And just coasting through and getting by and just being stagnant it's not healthy either. Mm-hmm. It's not healthy. No matter, if you're not religious or you have your own belief systems, that's fine. But there's also therapy. Mm-hmm. There's counseling. There's people who can listen, who are very professional at it, who don't go over and don't say, well, throw pills at you, like, oh, you need this, and you need this, and you need that. They just sit there and they let you talk. They don't unless if you ask for advice, they won't give you advice and say, hey, how do I fix this? Yeah. And then they offer advice, hey, you should read this book or take this medication or take this supplement, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm going through therapy.
And I've gone through for several years ago for a bit myself. It has its place. Modern psychology has its place.
Yes.
As long as we understand that Jesus has to be first and foremost in that healing process. Mm-hmm. Or you could talk about something until you're blue in the face.
Right.
But if you don't ever get to the root, then you've done nothing. But like we've talked about, we've gotten to the roots.
Oh yeah.
Of our issues.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah. And I've also told my therapist, I said, I finally found something that I enjoy doing, that I'm having fun with, that I'm excited about. And I told her it was, YouTubing stuff and recording and narrating or reading stories. And she got so excited. And I'm like, if I'm just a sitting duck and I'm not doing anything, I'm miserable. I love my children. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
I love them. They can have fun in their room and play. But what am I doing for my hobby, for my fun? Mm-hmm. And so I got to reading a book and recording the book. And I send it to people and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? How does this sound? How does that sound? And getting all the advice, all the encouragement, all of the help has pushed me to where I am now.
And I just want to say that's very important for women to do. Married women, single women, it's important for you to know who you are, because you function. Well, I don't even want to use the word function. You live. You're not a functioning being. You're a living being. You live more healthy in your relationships with your husband, with your friends. You know who you are, because if you don't, somebody's going to try and tell you who you are.
Yeah. And
that is not going to be healthy. Trust me on that. I've let other people tell me who I am. So know who you are, know what you enjoy, go into your relationships whole and healthy, and don't expect somebody else to complete you, because they can't do that. That's too much stress to put on somebody.
And that's what at the very beginning of my marriage, that's what I did to my husband. I did the same thing to him. I made him the person to make me happy. And as soon as he was hitting a spot in his life where he was drowning, I started falling off and I was drowning. I'm like, wait, this is not working. And so the first year, whenever they say the first year of marriage is the hardest, by golly, it sure is the hardest part. You can be the happiest engaged couple you could ever be. You could be sky high. You could be so deeply in love. Mm-hmm. I was right there too. The minute you hit that 1 year mark, you're trudging through all the muck, all the stress, all the stuff. And you're like, how did this happen? I'm in love with this person. What happened?
Now add something like I had with my husband onto that, where there was unresolved trauma, mental illness.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
And it magnifies everything. So.
But it's possible to work through it. It's possible to get through it. And you just have to have Christ as a center of your life, of your marriage. And you have to trust in the process. Trust the journey that I've been saying. Trust the journey that you're on. And he'll guide you through. He'll push you through it. he's pushed us through it.
Yeah.
We've been pushed through together.
And I want to say sometimes things don't work out,
Mhm.
and it's not necessarily if you're dealing with somebody who either doesn't want to be healed or doesn't know how to be, or just has some sort of block where that's at. That's not your fault. It's not your responsibility if that doesn't work out.
Mhm.
You have to move on, and you have to figure out who you are, especially if that was an abusive situation and you kind of lost your identity or you lost who you were. Not everything's going to work out. It's just, it's not, that's the world we live in, but it's what we do with that. Okay. It's what we do with that matters.
I agree.
And I am glad that they are closer than they have ever been. And they are on more of the same page than they have ever been.
Well, when you're with someone for 15, 16 years, I mean, you're both going to agree that I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me. We can't be stuck with anybody else because no one else is going to put up with our BS. No one's going to put up with our family drama. We're going to just push through it, and we have.
Yeah, but that's a choice you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide to come together,
Mm-hmm.
be on that same page, be one,
Mm-hmm.
not try to jockey for position and I want this and you want that and all that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Compromise.
Ladies, I'm just going to say this because I had, without knowing it, accepted some of these things in my thought processes. Radical feminism does not save you from men problems. All it actually does is it binds you up in bitterness and hatred and distrust of men. That's all it does. It does not save you from anything. It just binds you up. So that's one of the things I'm learning. Some of the thought processes I had taken in without realizing it and tried to weave into my Christianity. And so today, actually at church, our pastor was actually teaching on Ephesians 5, which has been, misconstrued in many ways. And I got a really cool revelation that as soon as I finish some other reading and some research, I'm going to be talking about, because it's around performance and it's around women performing for men in one way. And then if they take on, for example, some other philosophy, how they're bound up in something else. So you basically trade one evil for another. Mm-hmm. So I am so excited to discuss that. And I'll build it out more than that. I have multiple things to do, but I'm so excited to discuss that. And I guess I should probably tell them how they can
be my guest. You are my guest.
Okay. You can, and can I put something in the chat? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a description at the end. You can also put it into, I just didn't know where we're going with this. So you can put in the comment section. We can also put it in the description at the end of the video.
Okay, good.
So you can do it both.
So I'm going to tell it to you, and then I will probably just tell it to you, and we'll put it in the description. That way I'm not trying to talk and type. Because I don't like to do that while I'm trying to focus on talking. You can find all of my stuff at www.elizabeth, that's with a Z, Billingsley, BILLINGSLEY.com. You'll find my social media, and you'll find my books and my blog. You can subscribe. I would love to, talk to you. You can email me. But I want to share my healing journey with you. And I want her to also, as she continues this, be able to do the same thing, because I'm just so proud of her. I've seen her come from basically baby Christian all the way to, where we are now. So, and everything in between. So it's been fun. So keep watching, keep sharing her. Check my stuff out. I would love to connect. I have a Facebook, Twitter, Insta. I even have a Gab and a Telegram. I will put all that in the description when we're done. So
I also wanted to add one more thing. For me, trauma that I've been through, the stuff I went through, it does not mean that certain people did it to me or put me through it. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that whatever I went through, emotionally it affected me. In my mind, it affected me. You know, the enemy that I did not know even existed at the time was telling me, oh, this, that, and the other. Had nothing to do with physical human beings that affected me. It was all in my head. It was all in my heart. That's all that it was. So no matter what trauma you go through, it doesn't mean you have to be that specific person or people in your life that, you know, did something to you, like physically did something to you. It could be emotionally traumatizing. It could be mentally traumatizing.
It can be what you take in
Exactly.
and kind of chew on, and what you the lies you believe about yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of mine was that as well.
Yeah.
So very good point, Laura. Thank you for bringing that up. It is because it's not always what somebody does.
No,
it's what we choose to believe.
Yes.
Now, a lot of times, please don't misunderstand me. There may be people listening to this that somebody did do something horrific to you. I've had things done to me. But a lot of times it's also just lies we believe based on somebody else's actions.
Yes.
So
yes.
keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Let Jesus search your heart, and see what's there. You might be surprised. A lot of it is subconscious. Yeah. Okay. A lot of it is subconscious. So,
and I just came to that revelation this morning.
Oh, really?
Came that to this morning. That was part of what I was telling you about earlier.
Most of mine has been subconscious, with the exception of being in the abusive marriage and just being with men who were broken, who would just continue to break me. But again, you know, those were my choices to do that. So choice is also a big piece of this.
Yes.
What you're choosing to do, knowing, because I've chosen to do things that I knew was wrong.
Right.
If you choose to do something wrong, it's going to have an effect, because sin never lets you get off easy.
No.
Never. It never lets you off easy. So just keep that food for thought.
Agreed.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
So, well, girl, we've been chatting for 46 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah. So, how do you want to do this?
Yeah, I think
You want to close out?
Yeah.
You're the host. You tell me.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and close out. I don't want people to get overwhelmed. It's like almost an hour, and we're just rambling on.
No, we're having a conversation. We are not rambling. Okay,
this is rambling. We're just going down the rabbit
No. I have watched some people on YouTube, you know, things I was interested in, or just wanted to hear what they had to say. There was really no point. Okay. I love to listen to like different people's perspective. Probably one of the most rambling things I have ever heard in my life was from a guy named Jordan Peterson. And actually her husband said, hey, check him out. He's kind of cool. So I did. And okay. I have nothing against the guy. I mean, he has his, you know, belief system. He's actually come to the Lord recently. And so if you watch the video about him coming to the Lord, that was much better. But there have been, you know, some things like from him that it's like, dude, would you land a plane, please? Land the plane. Figure out what you like or don't like. But, you know, I mean, we all are on a journey. So that was his journey. And so anyway, check him out when you get a chance. He does do an extensive that Will told me about, which I found. He does an extensive series on the Bible. I do not know, disclaimer, I do not know if that was pre him becoming a Christian or after. That I do not know. So there may be stuff in there you hear that, you know, I'm just being honest. But you know, there's nothing wrong with listening to different ideas, but just know what you believe. So because that was my problem for a long time. I thought I knew what I believed, but I really didn't. And so things would carry me away. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Parks. So the dancer. So anyway, but yeah. Okay. Well,
all right. I guess we're going to cut this off. Thank you for talking with me and have this conversation, and with these lovely viewers who will hopefully stick around for a next podcast, vlog, whatever this is called. I don't even know what this is called.
This is a vlog.
Okay, this is a vlog.
This is a vlog.
I I guess a podcast is when you're not on camera.
Well, no, you can be on camera or you can not be on camera. But a vlog usually, I don't know, podcasts are more, to me, they're more structured.
True.
And I don't mind structure, but then I also like, some. I like to be free and just let the conversation kind of go. Free. I let the conversation go where it needs to go. Anyway, guys.
All right, well, we're going to cut this off. Thank you guys for joining us and chatting with us. And stick around. I'll be posting more shorts, videos periodically.
And I will put my stuff in the description for you guys to connect with me. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to do this again. This was fun.
Yes, yeah, we'll do it again.
This was a lot of fun.
We'll do it again.
So, yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
Bye.
This is a little bit of Laura.
And this is Elizabeth.
Toodles.
Bye, guys. Okay. Now, how do I put the stuff in the...